very difficult to get Zoom to chat to a scheduled YouTube meeting, but not a normal one. Right, so we'll just get this done. Rest along in NQ, what would you have ended? I would have ended, mate, personally, mate, it's a great question. Let me just get these sound settings all ready to rock and roll. So me personally, if I was reversing the S&P 500, I'd look for the ratio-based SPR. If I was reversing the NASDAQ, there's two signals there that you can take advantage of, right? Two signals. Now, ultimately, you've got this climactic, that orange candle there on the left. Hang on. Well. You can't see what I can see. So therefore, so, yeah, that's not going to go well for us. Hold on one second. You can probably tell we're live, right? Until even on YouTube, you can tell we're live. All right, there we go. All right. Oh, that's a bit better. So you should be able to see charts. So the question from Mark. Yeah, perfect, mate. So his question is, again, this classic sort of Singapore move that's occurring at the moment. Look at this, it is going gangbusters. So how would I have physically entered the Singapore move? So for the S&P 500 traders, you've got these two, let me put a circle around them, bottom left-hand corner for you. You've actually got the two SPRs, so those side-by-side SPRs. So if I was on the NASDAQ, guys, like we're going to be doing today, this one right here, guys, look for dual market trade, watch for surprises. Guys, there will be a couple of surprises today. But I would be looking for permission to trade the NASDAQ from the S&P 500, and I'd look at these ratio-based SPRs and say, you know what, they're looking really, really good. There's obviously two of them sitting side by side. I would then look for the reciprocal on the NASDAQ, and I look at these guys go. Okay, absolutely brilliant. What I would be doing is I would be eyeing off that black diamond delta right there. I'd be eyeing off that black diamond delta. The reason being, so ignore that Fibonacci, it's actually expired while we're getting ready. That black diamond basically sits beside that. Can you see the little static bar reversal there? So really, really, really strong SPR. Okay, it's got a -6 rating on it. If I was being very careful, very, very careful, I would put my entry above that static bar reversal. And the moment I got a black diamond delta, so the black diamond delta there, all it does is represent all of the institutional orders that are moving into the move. So what has happened since the black diamond delta? It's gone 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So just here is 500, wrong line, sorry, man. Here is $500 US just off that one delta per contract. And there is, guys, there is no counter sell signal here. All right, so something we'll be working on as in the October masterclasses is how do I hold these trades longer? Like it's wonderful to go for 20 or 30 or 40 ticks, but how can I hold for 150, 200, 300, all this kind of stuff? So, mate, that's how I would have done it. If you were being a little bit sneaky, you could have said, Lockie, this little red candle here, that little red candle there is a static bar reversal long based on the ratio of the candle. The better one is that tiny little one right there. Because that not only does it say SBR under the candle, that means that the charts have gone and done a large amount of mathematics for you and said, hey, here is a great signal. But they've then gone and created a lower low shortly after the signal. They couldn't get through the 240 low, and look at the market's response. And as a result, it's just gone literally, as we get ready to trade, it's just gone and broken all the Fibonacci's. So what we'll do, let's go and fix the Fibonacci's first and foremost. So guys, down bottom right-hand corner, sorry, bottom left-hand corner. Gosh, you can tell we're live, can't you? Bottom left-hand corner. A really lovely rally, guys, guys, in the US. In the US close yesterday. And because I've got to say, I was up last night for the first hour of the US close with Fred. Some of the traders in that US close are doing really, really well. You know, like a couple of $1,000 US profit in the session. So what does that ultimately mean? That is becoming a really, really good session. Right? And please don't forget that US daylight saving switches on the first Sunday of November. That means that US close session is going to become an hour later, guys, an hour later. And then if you're in New South Wales or Victoria, if you're in Australia or even New Zealand, you guys get daylight savings again, which means it becomes an hour later again. So what is currently a 4 a.m. start becomes a 6 a.m. start. That session is phenomenal. So shout out to the traders in that session. They are doing really, really, really well. Now at this stage, I'm going to draw. I did have a Fibonacci drawn the other way. At this stage, we'll draw it down to catch them on the way up. So I'm going to go a 15-minute purple here, just to make it a little bit easier on the eyes and similar things. Key point, guys. Key point last night. Big drop, guys, on all the markets. Big drop on all the markets last night, right across the world. The Great British Pound got absolutely hammered. Now, there's a reason for that, so I'll explain that shortly. But the news came out about the. I'll let the news. I'll do that in a sec. So, guys, ES is resisting weekly shorts. Okay, so what I want to highlight, guys, here. Let me just fix that typo for you. Firstly, the S&P 500 is resisting a weekly short. The fdax, guys, if we were to have another fall today, the fdax could actually shadow off a weekly short, which is going to be literally jump on and get out of the way, because it's going to move really, really quick. Now, guys, I do want to highlight something that a number of traders globally will be concerned about. The S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, guys, are currently trading inside the US closed 60-minute bar. So there's a lot of people out there in the world that would say that the market basically has no direction. Guys, there's no direction whatsoever. Now, I know, guys, for the Singapore close, these guys have cruised down, literally got within a whisker of a 4-hour static bar reversal long with incredible ratios, and they've taken off to the high side. So if you are long, as if you do trade that 3 o'clock switch in the market, if you are long already, guys, on any of the signals that we've already highlighted, you want to try and hold that long, guys, until around about 5 minutes before the European market opens. Then what I want you to do is reduce the risk, or certainly at this point in time, you'd be positive risk. So if Europe decides to get a little bit cranky, which I don't think it's going to do, guys, but if it does decide to get a little bit cranky today, you're going to be on the right side of that crankiness, because you've already locked in a large amount of profit. Some of you guys might also be looking at a short off the 50 fib of the day there on the S&P 500. Guys, if you are, based on your current volatility, top left-hand corner, guys, you'd be looking for a 4-tick first target, guys, an 8-tick second target, and then whatever you can get your hands on. So, now, what I want to do today, guys, because yesterday they went a little bit cray-cray, they got real cray-cray about that UK news. We've got a lot of European news today. None of it is really that important, except in the session where we, like, literally the last 15 minutes. That being said, guys, we're going to look for dual market signals today. So S&P to NASDAQ, FESX to FDAX, for those that need to need to trade at a very, very high strike rate. Guys, a very, very, very high strike rate. The flip side, guys, the flip side of that, if I may, we're going to have to be, I've just lost my train of thought. I just thought of something and I need to tell you, and I literally lost my train of thought. All right, let me just, hang on. I've just thought of something I need to do. And the moment I thought of it, I'm like, oh, hang on, I've got to go and do that. Boom, 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 boom. So hang on, guys, hang on, just wait one. I'm looking at my trade copier. I'm looking at my trade copier. Hold on one sec. Okay, this one. Right, let me just get this. Let me just get this done while I think about it. Otherwise, we're gonna something's gonna turn to clag. All right, hold on one sec. Okay, connect required. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So let me just run through this. We've done this, guys. I'll come back here in a second. I've just lost my train of thought. What I'm doing, guys, at the moment, you guys, yesterday my trade copy software wigged out a little bit, guys. Now that was actually a bit expensive, guys. Now when my trade copier wigged out yesterday, I didn't realize that I had trades running, guys, on one of the wigged out accounts. So it actually blew up one of my not one of my PA accounts, one of my what's the trial accounts? What are they called? Those accounts. Eval. Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. It blew out one of my eval accounts, guys. So I've actually gone and reset the eval account, and I've worked out what the problem is. And we were about to head into exactly the same problem again. So I'll show you what I'm doing to make sure I don't have that problem. So S&P, we're good at this point in time. If you are short off the 50 fib, guys, you're looking for a 4-tick target, an 8-tick target, and then, guys, anything you get the hands on. Yeah, Dan, look, it happened to Cody a little while ago as well. Like he had the trade copy a week out on him and blew up basically a whole lot of hard work, which is a real shame. The flip side of that is we now know how to fix it. We know now, yeah, and so we're getting better, guys. We're getting better at it every day, which is really exciting. Mind you, not our software, guys, not our software, but we are getting better at it. There's no question. All right, so for the Nazi traders, guys, guys, down here, there's a really, really interesting number. Yeah, Mark, first time I've ever had a problem with it. Yeah, first time ever. That's the way it goes. So, guys, for the NASDAQ traders, 280, guys, down here, 280. All right, where the black line is, guys, that's a really, really incredible buy point, or also a collapse point in the market. So if the fdax was to absolutely plummet to the downside today, guys, which I don't think it's going to do, I think we're going to just cruise up quite nicely or grind up quite nicely. That being said, if we come down here, guys, that's a really, really good buy point. We've got a 4-hour static bar reversal long, guys, that the NASDAQ has basically cruised down to. We answered questions before here about where would you actually take the NASDAQ long. Guys, because I am mathematically centric, so great question from before, guys, because I'm mathematically centric, me personally, I would have entered over the top of that -6 rated static bar reversal. And because I got the delta there, I would have been, you know what, tickety boo, this is going to go really well. If I was long on that trade right now, guys, and this is what I would encourage everybody to do, I would stay, I would personally get out with one target at 20 ticks. So I've got $100 in the bank. My stop loss would come through to positive, so I can't lose any money. Then I'd reassess the trade every 15 minutes. All right, so I would look at this candle, say, awesome. Are they still green? Yes, I'll give them another 15 minutes. Boom. Are they still green? I'll give them another 15 minutes. Now, guys, the only time that you would not do that, I mean, you can use this strategy on any market, guys, FX, CFDs, crypto, any of them. The reason you would use this as a 5-minute chart trader is if we pick up a valid reversal coming back against you, but you can't take it, these guys are probably just going to keep climbing to the high side. Right? So what does it ultimately mean? It means you end up with 20 ticks, you've got no risk, and literally I've got no idea where my profit target is. No idea what my target is. So guys, speaking of what the target is for the NASDAQers, guys, you see here, guys, these two MAs on the chart here. I'm doing some work for you on these at the moment. Basically, they're the classic ones, guys, no surprises. This would suggest the short-term bias is up, but the long-term bias is down, right? So now that's an interesting scenario for these guys to be in. That means the Fibonacci is going to be running through there. Now, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3. So buyers on the stair step. We would be looking for selling-based reversals off these Fibonacci's, provided we had dual market agreement, S&P 500 and NASDAQ. All right, so what does that mean? Guys, it means these guys are probably going to cruise up to the purple Fibonacci's. Okay, probably cruise up here. So what I'd be looking for, guys, on the NASDAQ today, again, just depending on what Europe does on open. Diane, all you've missed is we're just briefing everybody in on the Singapore close. Where would I have traded the NASDAQ? Where would I have traded the S&P 500? And also, I had a copy trade issue yesterday, which cost me an eval account, but I'm back. So I've got to go and get that. I've got to go and get that bloody account qualified again, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So, again, what we're looking for today is if the Europeans do take off to the high side, and then they get caught and come back down, it'd be really good if the NASDAQ traders push beyond that 90% fib to pick up an 88.6. If they push through, hit the weekly low and get caught, we can basically reverse under the 76.8. Keep an eye on your volatility to go, guys, because we'll adjust your risk control points and targets to the volatility. If these guys and girls, so I'm going to go back to the slightly larger chart. So daily chart here. Guys, what I want to highlight to everybody, guys, as we go through this process, is this candle at one point in time, this was absolute dire straits. Like we were talking massive fall in the markets. Sellers own the stair step. What these guys are doing at the moment on the NASDAQ, guys, they're eyeing off that daily long. Okay, so you see over there on the left-hand side, let me put a circle on it so it's really obvious for you. What the market's basically doing is, are we going to go and trigger this daily long? So really good ratios, guys, leads back into that -2 rated candle just there. So again, if we buy on the NASDAQ, guys, above 373, if we buy above 373, which ain't that far away. 373. Okay, 373. You can see what they got stuck on, can't you? If we were to buy above, say here, okay, so put a little note on it, guys, as we get ready. So if we buy above here, we may pick up old daily. You guys know we don't use the daily chart, right? We use a 1440, wink, wink. But that being said, if we buy above here, we pick up old daily buyers. All right, so let me just fix that typo for you. All right, so pick up old daily buyers. Now, guys, ultimately the reason we go through this process every day is we try and basically get a psychological expectation on what the market's going to do. And if it does something completely opposite to what we expect, that's okay, because our strategy allows for it, right? So they can basically do whatever they want. If these buyers do run out of steam, g'day Western Australia, young Rems, how are you? If these guys do break for the S&P traders, if we push through to the gap and fail really, really badly, we're looking at a gap-based reversal. If they pushed up here, touched the gap, and then got slammed back down, we're looking at a 50 of the day reversal. And it all really comes down to Europe. So speaking of Europe, guys, we'll go and do the big Europeans first. We've got a lot of spare time today, guys, a lot of spare time. So again, if there's any questions, please do not be shy. Now, first things first, why did the Europeans get demolished yesterday? It was probably one of the biggest sell days I've seen on the fdax in a long time. The reason being, guys, is this. The UK, now I've borrowed this, guys. This is not my language, but let me repeat it to you. UK long-term borrowing costs surged to their highest level since 1998. So the British 30-year gilt yields spiked to 5.72%, signaling deep investor concern about the UK's fiscal sustainability. Now, I'll put that on the screen, guys. That's obviously off Investopedia. So again, quite complex language. There's a lot of people that are very, very concerned about the fact that Europe is about to run out of money. Was literally about to run out of money. Now, the reason I mentioned that, the reason I said earlier, we might get some surprises today, is we do have some low impact news events today, right? Some low impact news events I'll show you that may end up really upsetting the apple cart. What is for those that don't want a little bit of politics, what's also setting up the apple cart for the Aussies out there is that Dan Andrews, the dude from Victoria, he's been invited. In fact, while we're doing that, guys, I've got to do a data disconnect and reconnect, so I'll do that while we talk. Dan Andrews was invited to China to this big military parade, but the actual invitation didn't come formally through the Australian government. It came directly to Dan Andrews, which is raising a couple of questions for those in Australia. Why did Dan Andrews get an invitation to the CCP thingo, whatever that big military parade is, guys, but it didn't actually officially come through the Australian government, which I don't know if you guys are into politics, but that's not particularly cool. We don't know why that would happen. So just be aware. Just be aware it has happened. We don't know why it has happened, but it has happened. And there are a number of people asking for questions or asking for basically why has that occurred? Now, what I want to draw your attention to, guys, I've just had another reminder pop up in the background. So let me just fix that very, very quickly. What I want to draw your attention to today is the fact that we have a couple of European news announcements. We've got a couple of European news announcements that could actually rock the boat, guys. And the rock the boat ones, the rock the boat one is this one right here. Guys, so see this 6 p.m. we've got European PPI. Now, again, the one that's really going to throw us around today, guys, and it's not scheduled, is that one right there. If the German 10-year bond auction is really, really positive, it's really, really positive compared to the UK figures, which were really bad, then the fdax is going to skyrocket, guys. If the figures are negative, it's going to plummet. Okay, so we've just got to, what we're going to watch out for today, dare I say it, what we need to watch out for is jittering in the candles, like literally unexpected jittering, What does this ultimately mean, guys, for those people in the UK? Okay, the really important point, guys, is that it's this concern about the fact that the UK So the UK government, not being rude, but the UK government cannot maintain their current level of spending. Like they just can't do it. So what does it ultimately mean? Is that they're going to have to cut expenditure somewhere, and people are really, really concerned in the UK where that expenditure cut is going to come from. So what we're going to watch out for, guys, scattered European news today. Watch for the French and German, guys. That's inside our no trade zone. So the last 15 minutes. G'day, Dan. How are you? Hope you're brilliant. Guys, for the bigger traders, out there, this is where you are on your daily chart. Okay, now first and foremost, I can see a Fibonacci. I'm still loading data. I'm still loading data. What I'm going to do, you see what I'm going for? I'm going for that blue Fibonacci. What we are going to do here, guys, is I'm going to draw a Fibonacci up here. Okay, draw a Fibonacci up here. What I'm looking for is, at the moment, the Fibonacci I've got on is actually upside down. All right, so let me just draw this on. So it's a little bit more recent. For those that are watching, guys, all we're doing is drawing our Fibonacci up to catch them on the way down, because naturally that's how Fibonacci mathematically needs to be drawn. Guys, note with interest that we got caught yesterday. Guys, we literally got caught yesterday on the fdax. Guys, at the 88.6 Fibonacci on the 4-hour chart. These guys are currently back above the 76.8. This is a daily chart, guys. This little candle here, that little daily candle there. Yes, exactly right, MJ. Spot on the mark. Well done. Guys, if you are going to get an Apex account, if you are going to get an Apex or TTP account, please do use the link on the website, guys, on the website. That helps Samurai, not financially, guys, not financially. I mean, it's like negligible. What it does, though, is it starts to build our rapport with these big funding partners, which works in advantage for everybody. All right. So if you feel so inclined, guys, just click on that link. What we've got here, guys, Fibonacci, very, very hilarious. So at the moment, these guys have cruised up. It looks like while we're talking about the fdax, they might have actually just closed their gap. As if they have closed their gap, the fdax definitely has. As normally, if the fdax and the European markets close their gap in the pre-market, it normally means we're in for a big move. This candle here, guys, on the daily chart is a very, very dangerous candle, right? As much as we've had a really, really nice retrace back up the candle, which is important, is because the sellers actually finished this candle quite strong. It's got a 2 rating above it. We are highly likely to try and sell down first before we go back the other way. Right now, on the daily chart, sellers own the stair step. Guys, that means we bring back into vogue these 2 little static bar reversals over here on the left-hand side. So if we were to sell down, goes over the first 25 to 30, maybe 35 minutes, and then we stall at that 88.6 Fibonacci level there. If we were to stall there, again, don't be surprised. You got some really, really powerful reversals over here on the daily chart. Okay, down to the 4-hour chart. Again, because we are a little bit European-centric on European Open, we've got to be aware that these guys have actually opened. Right? So the fdax has opened in a 4-hour static bar reversal long. So don't be surprised at all if they take off to the high side and it's sustained. We're going to end up in that scenario I spoke about where we just end up grinding all day, as literally grinding to the high side. So the OSR trades are going to be really important. Flip side, guys, if these guys want to turn around and go back the other way, they could come down a little bit first, try and find some Fibonacci support down the bottom, and then turn around and come back up. Now, for the fans of the 4-hour Fibonacci, as the fans of the 4-hour Fib, I'll use a slightly different Fibonacci just to show you what I mean. At this point in time, the micro trend looks like that. Effectively, the 4-hour 50 Fibonacci is right here. We will color that purple, guys, just so it doesn't get caught with the larger greens. But the long story short is the Europeans love to go back to the 50 Fib on the 4-hour chart. And that's sitting right there, guys, at 5335. So don't be surprised at all if we see them try and push up a little bit. Okay. Now, typically, guys, what occurs, we'll jump on the fdax. These guys will normally try and go to the 50 Fib of the day inside the cash market, guys, before they decide on their direction. So just be aware that we're likely to sell down on the European markets first, guys, before we take off. If they don't do that, guys, then we're going to end up in that grinding scenario where they just literally decide they're going to grind all day. Okay, first and foremost, I'll get rid of the purple because it's out of date, and we'll update that for you as we roll in. I'm just double checking. Let me just double check another news site, guys, in the background, just making sure we're not going to get outflanked here. Boom, boom, boom. No, I think we're okay. I think we're okay. Okay. So for fdax, as we'll go slightly larger, The danger we face for the fdax, come up to the monthly. These guys are very, very, very close. Very, very close to triggering this incredibly strong monthly short. So if we were to get a sell, guys, so let's say the news comes out today and it's really, really negative, and these guys start tumbling like they did yesterday. At the moment, it's my 100% retracement level just here. But if we do get any lower than that, we're probably going to push down, bounce back up, and then just collapse through and off we go. At this point in time, what we're looking at this right now, if we were to close the month like it is now, that's actually one of the strongest, guys, in terms of volume and territory gain. That's actually one of the strongest monthly selling candles, guys, we've had in some time. So we're going to have to be careful that these guys don't absolutely tank. You guys know what all of these other candles mean. Dropping down to the weekly chart. Dropping down the weekly chart at the moment. Let me just double check. So sellers own the stair step, buyers stole it. Buyers still own the stair step. So these guys are looking for selling based reversals. Probably one of the reasons why that little chestnut right there has gone absolutely perfectly to the downside. Now, speaking of that, guys, just so you are aware, as I'm talking to a number of the funding partners on your behalf about being able to hold positions for the full contract. So literally we could go short on the fdax or short on the nasdaq and hold it for 4 or 5 weeks, guys, on the funded accounts, which means the weekly and daily chart work we're doing, guys, it's actually going to prove to be really, really exciting, right? Really, really exciting. Dropping down, guys, dropping down the fdax daily chart. At this point in time, this is where we're currently hiding. Guys, this is where we're currently hiding. Key levels from last night when we absolutely tumbled last night on that weak UK news, guys. We got caught at the 76 fibs off the weekly chart, so we know that the Fibonacci's are very accurate. This, guys, in itself might be a climactic candle, but it's also got a 1 strength rating. That suggests mathematically that, guys, we're probably not going to turn today. We're probably going to turn tomorrow. All right. If that was a climactic candle without a strength rating, guys, we would be looking to turn immediately, like literally lovely turn, because that's got a 1 strength rating. As the daily chart would be suggesting that we might actually sell down a little bit first before we go long. All right. So let's just be a little bit careful on the opening candle. Dropping down to the 240. Guys, again, the way that I look at the world, these guys have got an absolutely beautiful static bar reversal long on the 4-hour chart. It looks like that's failing to trigger. As if they were to sell down with any gusto and get to the bottom of that little green candle, guys, the bottom of the little green candle right there, they're basically going to try and trigger a 4-hour. They're going to try and trigger a 4-hour swing trigger short. Okay, that could send us tumbling. Now, mind you, to load this 4-hour static bar reversal long, guys, we still don't have a lower low, right? So there would be a very, very smart Fibonacci, guys, on the fdax, basically running from there to there, saying if you guys retrace down here and get caught at these standard Fibonacci's, if you guys get caught down here, we're looking at a really, really lovely reversal. G'day Petros, how are you? fdax 60-minute 100% extension. Perfect. That's exactly where I'm going next. So guys, at this point in time, we've got this incredible 60-minute chart reversal long. It's already marked up with a -3. So that's going to go really, really well. Again, though, to trigger that long, mathematically, we need a lower low. And at this point in time, we haven't gone below that candle. So I think their appetite to buy hard, like they sold hard yesterday, I think their appetite to buy hard is probably not going to come around until maybe the 35-40 minute reversal. Or we might be looking at a turn of the hour. We might be looking at a turn of the hour reversal. Now I'm just checking Fibonacci's in the background. Yeah, dominant candle. It's a dominant candle, 60-minute chart Fibonacci. Let me just double check. Okay, yeah, there is that dominant candle right there. I've got a couple of other Fibonacci's on here, guys. I'm just seeing if I can strip any off. No, they're all important. Do you know how interesting point? You know how last week we were reversing off the 133 monthly? Well, look at where we've gone to, the 100 monthly. So that sell down yesterday, as much as it was news inspired, it's basically just gone exactly where most long range traders would ultimately think it's going to go. So dominant, guys, dominant candle following standard, old school 2009, no surprises. I was following sort of older school Fibonacci. Oh, I've just clicked on the wrong thing again. Let me just double click on the right thing. We'll throw this one on, guys. I'll give it a color. I'll give it a color only to differentiate it from any of the other ones we might be drawing on. I've just realized we've got 50 seconds until the gun goes. All right, so let me just go and do some work here. Let me spread these out and we'll come back into it as we need to. So at this stage, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. All right, so we'll get ready, guys. We'll get ready for the gun to go. We've got 30 seconds. I'm just going to spread out my charts, make them easier to see, easier to read. We'll keep some of these notes on as required. I'm expecting the FESX to try and go down, guys, to the 50 of the day before they would turn and go up. At this stage, is what we'll just let these guys open. So I've got, at this stage, I've got 1, 2, 3. Buyers own the stair step, boom. Sellers own the stair step at this stage. So we're looking for buying base reversals, but we don't have that opportunity yet. I'm going to get rid of that larger fib. Guys. That's if we get an absolutely monstrous move to the downside. At this stage, we have not gone to the 50 fib. Guys, we have not gone to the 50 fib of the day. Now, there is a pre-market reversal. Guys, there's a pre-market reversal setting up for those that trade pre-box reversals on fdax. Guys, now if you do trade a pre-top reversal, guys, if you do trade a pre-top reversal, the volatility, guys, is very, very tight. Okay, so if you do trade the pre-top reversal, guys, that's going quite well at this point in time. All right, so pre-top reversal, guys, if you do trade the pre-top reversal, guys, your entry on fdax, guys, is anything like 657. You're looking for a 5-point first target and a 10-point second target. As if you are short on that, that has gone very, very well. Right, so the short on fdax, hang on a second. I've now got, this is exactly what I had. This is exactly what went wrong yesterday. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten those two trades. So I've got a trade running in the background. Let me just go to chart trader. I want this one on that one there, so I don't have trades popping up on all the screens. Anyway, point is, if you've gone short on the fdax, guys, on a pre-top after the candle, after the candle changed color, it's gone very, very well. There's no question about that. Okay, so now I've picked that up in the background, guys. On my live accounts, my ATM took me out at 3 points. On my backup account, what has it done on the backup accounts? It's done something very strange. Very, very, very strange. All right. That's okay. That's okay. So for the fdax traders, if you've gone short off the pre-top, right? So we waited for the color change on the candle. We put the entry on. We did everything that we're required to do. That has gone really, really well for the fdax traders. MJ, beautiful trade, 20 and 19. And that's a big trade. Now, sellers have just stolen the stair step, guys, on the fdax. So some of you may have gone long over the top of the 50 fib of the day, understanding that buyers have the step we sold, sellers stole the step, we took it back again. If you have gone long, guys, over the 50 of the day, you're looking for a 5-point first target. If you have done that, that's fantastic, guys. Absolutely well done. Guys, now at this stage, for a new signal on the fdax, guys, we're going to watch the last 90 seconds. We would ultimately need, at this point in time, we would ultimately need the buyers to push up on the FESX and fail badly, guys. And I'm going to try and pick up that red diamond delta short at 641. Guys, if I can pick up the red diamond delta short at 641, ideally inside the new candle. Jürgen, that is a fantastic trade, mate. Well done. So 1, 2, 3. Sellers own the stair step on NASDAQ and S&P 500. So you guys are looking for buying base reversals. Some of you may have traded off the 50 fib of the day, guys, using either that black diamond delta or that black diamond delta. Do I have any NASDAQ traders long because the sellers own the step? Guys, do I have anybody long because the sellers own the step? Yes, yes, yes. Well done, Anna. Great job. Well done, Remy. Great job. Jürgen, again, mate, absolutely fantastic trade. Mate, big well done to you. Okay, big well done. Now, what we're doing, guys, at this stage for the fdax traders is we're watching to see what they do with the gap close. As what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to chase that red diamond delta, but I want to do it inside the new candle. All right, so I want to do it inside the new candle. All right, so let's just see what the fdax has got for us. So the fdax is moving up towards the pre-top. Now, what we've got to be very careful of at this stage on the fdax is we don't want the FESX to start running to the high side. This is a very interesting stance by the FESX traders. Now, for the fdax, guys, we're likely to pick up a climactic reversal. The flip side of the climactic reversal is it's already started to move. It's already started to move to the downside. Now, again, for those that trade climactic reversals, you would already be in on the fdax to the downside. I was with the intent of, oh, wow. Okay, so I got that, guys. I got that trade on all 6 accounts. All right, so I'm happy with that. That's actually now starting to move properly. So for the climactic reversal fdax traders, we're looking obviously to be short. That's gone quite well, and the copy software is now working properly, guys, which is always good fun. Right? That's always a start. Dan, well done. So anybody, guys, anybody on the fdax, if you've taken the trades that I'm talking about, big well done. Please, for everyone in the LTR today, even if you're watching on YouTube, please keep your daily KPIs in place. Guys, now I'm only sitting at around $340 per account. Guys, obviously times 4 accounts at this point, so it's $1,200 US. Guys, whatever you need, guys, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe a little bit less than that. Man, I wish I was still short on this fdax. Point being, guys, one of the biggest problems in trading is people don't stop, right? People don't stop. Guys, you've got to stop. Guys, you've got to stop once you hit your daily KPI, once you're happy with your performance. Massive well done to you. I was waiting to pick up the red diamond delta short on the fdax just there. Right, that's what I was waiting to pick up. Again, that's also gone quite well. Yeah, Jürgen, you've got to stop. You got to stop. Well, guys, interesting point. So interesting point. Let's say your goal is $250 per day, and you're doing that on 4 accounts. It's $1,000 a day. There's not a lot of people that I know that work for about 35 or 40 minutes and earn $1,000 a day. So Jürgen, once you start bringing it into perspective, you think, well, hang on, if I'm happy with $1,000 a day, Lockie, what I'll eventually do is I'll end up doubling, triple, quadruple my contracts. So then I'm on $4,000 a day or $20,000 a week. But that's because I showed discipline when I was only wanting $250 a day times 4 accounts. Yep. Petros, done for the day, mate. So run away. And again, mate, based on the number of accounts you're trading, that's a very good day. All right. Now, for the fdax, guys, at this point in time, sellers own the stair step. For the NASDAQ, guys, a number of you picked that the sellers own the stair step. You may have gone long, guys, on that static bar reversal, this delta here or that delta there. So any of the NASDAQ traders who've gone long, all right, you've read the stair step of the market really well. You've seen the pivot failure, particularly, guys, the pivot failure here on the 50 fib of the day. You've just picked it up long. Remy's actually scaled in long, guys, on the black diamond delta. If you are scaling into your original long, guys, based on PVI, a 10 to 20 tick scale in target is always good fun. All right, that's always good fun. Guys, for the fdax traders, watch the last 90 seconds, please. Now, I'm suggesting at this point in time, this is going to be a very powerful FESX sell down candle. What does it ultimately mean, guys? We could see we could see the fdax as predicted go to the 50 fib of the day inside the cash market. Guys, it almost always does that. Almost always does that. If we get a monster sell, guys, if we get a monster sell down, then it's going to go really, really well. If we don't get a monster sell down, we're probably going to see another buy go back to the high side. Possession trade heavy. Yeah, so yeah, Jürgen, revenge trading, there's a number of people that try that on a regular basis, and may I suggest it doesn't go well. But look, guys, speaking of that, we're only 10 minutes into the session. The beauty of revenge trading, normally revenge trading occurs after you're well over your daily goal, you decide to take another trade, then you go back under your daily goal and you think, you know what, I'm just gonna level the ledger. Okay. The best thing to do, honestly, set a goal of 250 to 500 US dollars per day. Get really, really, really good at that over and over and over and over again. Those 250 to 500 US dollars per day. You can either start copy trading, guys, or you can start stepping up contracts. So your 250 to 500 a day becomes, you step up a contract, becomes 500 to 1,000 US dollars a day. Guys, you think about the number of people in the world earning 1,000 US dollars per day for 90 minutes work, maybe. And I say that you're in a really good place. Guys, you're in a really good place. All right. Now, the fdax, guys, traditionally we'll go back to the 50 fib. We've already spoken about that. I've got no new signals. No new signals on the NASDAQ unless, guys, if these buyers push back up here on the NASDAQ, guys, and we can pick up that little static bar reversal under the gap there. So what we need, guys, ideally is the NASDAQ traders to push back up through the gap, fail, turn around, pick up the shorts just underneath the gap, and then move down to the 50 fib of the day, which would be a beautiful little trade. We've just got to wait for the buyers to show first, guys, and get look at the number of you running away because I've started talking about daily KPI. Because if you've had a good start to the day, then I say well done you. I think that's really, really, really exciting, which is that's very exciting indeed. Okay, now at this stage, guys, we're waiting for the buyers. We're waiting for the yes, we are. We're waiting for the buyers on the NASDAQ to push up beyond the gap. As if they were to push up beyond the gap, then we might be able to pick up that little static bar reversal over there on the left-hand side. As for the S&P buyers on the stair step, so you guys are looking for exactly the same buyers to push up to the pre-bottom and pick up these higher static bar reversals short. Oh, no, Shelton. Oh, you're not the only one that's done that, mate. No. Ah, dear. Oh, dear. Now, guys, I'm bucking the trend, all right? I'm bucking the trend here. What I'm seeking to do is get funded, guys. As you know, I'm pretty transparent about this. I'm seeking to get funded at over $1 million as a single contract trader. As I've said to you guys a number of times, it is impossible to blow up a funded account on one contract. It's impossible, right? So just guys, again, I think there's two lessons. Be kind to yourself, because trading is not easy. It is simple. Trading is not easy. So firstly, be kind to yourself. And secondly, guys, don't rush the funding process. There's no need to rush the funding process. Okay, now, guys, okay, let me just have a look. So we've had buyers go long, guys, on here. It's gone 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, over 60 ticks to the high side. Well done. I was looking for the buyers to push in to pick up that static bar reversal. I've just seen this 2-rated red candle here, guys, on NASDAQ. Some of you may have seen the buyers push in above the entry point and gone short under there. Do I have anybody short, guys, under the 2-rated candle on the NASDAQ or the 1-rated candle on the S&P? Okay, if you are short, guys, with the volatility around the 55 mark, you'd be looking for a 20-tick first target and a 50-tick second target. Understanding at this stage, NASDAQ, you're trading back down into the 50 of the day. So if we do close in 1 minute and 45 seconds under the 50 of the day, we're likely to go a lot further. If we don't, they're likely to try and buy again. Now, for the fdax traders, we're about to set our OSR. You guys are approaching your last 90 seconds on this particular candle. Again, the only trade at this stage, guys, the only trade you'll be picking up at this point in time will be an open and pre-bottom reversal. These deltas, guys, I'm a little bit slow on the mark, guys. These two red deltas on the fdax are valid. Guys, they're selling deltas outside the range of an efficient candle, so they are 100% valid. If you have gone short, guys, on the first delta at 610, you're through target. Guys, if you've gone short on the second delta at 04, you're through target as well. So I'm a little bit late calling them for you. I do apologize. That means, guys, that those people that actually took the climactic reversal up here at the pre-top, you could have actually got into your first target and set a long-range target and then scaled into these trades. As if you scale in, absolutely incredible. So at this stage, guys, for the fdax, what we're ultimately looking for is a close here. It would be lovely if we get a lower low. It would be lovely if we get a lower low. Because we're looking for a long off the open, guys, or if you are a 76 Fibonacci trader, you're looking for the sellers to sell down below the 76 Fib, guys, so you can then buy above the 76.8. Okay, that would be absolutely magic if that was to occur. So we've gapped up, guys. At this point in time, we're waiting for them to. Don't take off without us, please. Well, I'm being very strict on the fdax traders, guys. We're after picture perfect signals only. All right, picture perfect signals only. For the NASDAQ, what have I got there, Steve? Slightly lower low on the 4 hour, which is classic Elliott wave 4 movement. So it is highly likely now to run back up to test the highs. Yes, mate, I agree with you. I agree with you. So for the fdax traders, sorry, NASDAQ traders, buyers own the step at the moment. We're looking for selling-based reversals, If the buyers were to push back up here, guys, up around the top of my arrow, then we might be looking to try and pick up that static bar reversal over there on the left-hand side. Because we don't have a lower low, guys, on fdax, the actual selling deltas are still valid. Okay, so the selling deltas are still valid. I would suggest, guys, an open or pre-bottom reversal is probably most likely on the cards now on the fdax. There is a lower low here, guys. So some of you may have picked up the 88.6. Other will be sitting, guys, at 606 to trade that 76.8. At this stage, I would prefer for the fdax traders, you're long over the 88.6, guys, which is down here. Whoops. I'd prefer if you're long over the 88.6 simply because the risk is tiny and it's already shown a potential to go through its target. Or, guys, we're looking for the open and pre-bottom reversal down here. Now, for the NASDAQ traders, we're going to watch the last 90 seconds very, very closely. Okay, boom, here they come. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Okay, so for the fdax traders, I would love to push down. I would love to push down through the open. I'd love to push down through the open to pick up a signal. Now, at this point in time, you'd be looking for an entry on at 590. Let me just double check that, guys, because we are. Okay. It's a valid trade, guys, at 590. It's a valid trade at 590, provided we get filled very, very quickly. The reason being is I don't want the FESX or the fdax to close under its OSR. And at the moment, if we go long at 590, the OSR is at 595. Right, so again, I've got an order, guys, sitting on at 590. Reality is if these sellers get a wriggle on here, guys, if they go much further, I don't want to carry too much risk on the trade. These guys are selling down relatively hard. So let me just see what we've got here. Right, so at this stage, guys, for those on the fdax, what I'm going to move, guys, I'm going to move my order away from the entry level at 590. Okay, we're going to have to go to a bigger Fibonacci here. For those that are short, I don't think we've got any short traders left on the NASDAQ, guys, so we are looking for longs at this point. Let me just change my fibs. Guys, at this point in time, guys, nobody is long on the fdax, please. I had an order on exactly where we're talking about, and it obviously did not get touched. Okay, what have we got? That Fibonacci's upside down. Guys, so this was the sell down, guys, that we were talking about in the pre-brief. All right, if this sell down comes down to key market levels and they can't sustain the sell down, guys, we could pick up a really nice buying opportunity. It might be around that 30 to 35 minute, might be around the 30 to 35 minute mark. Okay, so at this stage, guys, we're back. So these sellers, are very strong on fdax, right? Very, very strong on fdax. Let me get rid of that Fibonacci there. Just start to clean up fibs and work out what they're doing. All right, so we're going to be very, very careful, guys, very, very careful on the fdax. These red diamond deltas, guys, as much as the risk is too much for us, the red diamond deltas are valid. Guys, there's no doubt about that. Fibonacci, we're going to have to fine tune them right across the board. So let's just watch what these guys are up to. Quick fine tune here. That Fibonacci's got to be turned up the other way. So I'm looking, guys, I'm looking for a bit of a deep dive here. So I'm looking for the sellers to really try and crack in on these markets. And ultimately, I think that selling is probably going to fail unless we break key market levels. Now, for the fdax traders, as you've got valid shorts, not longs, but we would need to make sure that we've got to buy a retrace and a really, really lovely rejection. Let me just switch this fib around for us. All right, so your Fibonacci is going to come back around the other way. All right, now for the YouTubers today, guys, the YouTubers will be on, guys, with us today, guys, for around about 30, maybe 35 minutes. Guys, and then I've got to switch my attention to helping the LTR traders obviously make as much money as they possibly can. That red diamond delta there on fdax, guys, is valid at 549. The risk is potentially too high for most traders to take. So I would be suggesting at this point in time, guys, we would be better off waiting for certainly the FESX to prove. Guys, we want the FESX to prove they are definitely reversing, and then we're going to join the potentially join the buyers. At this stage, guys, for the nasdaq, and S&P. Oh, the S&P's actually picked up a valid short. You've picked up a valid short, but you've got some pretty heavy Fibonacci in the way. What I'd suggest we do, guys, at this stage, wait for these guys to fall, wait for them to fall, and then look to pick up the reversals on the other side if Europe decides to come back the other way. Okay, so Steve was absolutely spot on the mark. Guys, now let's have a look. So we've gone long here. Was we're waiting for a valid, so we've gone long over here. We were waiting for the buyers to push up, guys, get up into these SBRs so we could go short. As it turns out, they didn't do exactly what we wanted. That Fibonacci could be a little bit tighter here on NASDAQ. So let me just navigate this as best as I can. There will be a lot of people in the world using that fib. That's very much the same as the S&P 500. Okay, so yes, Mark, you're on the money. So guys, for the NASDAQ and S&P traders, we're about to get down into these older static bar reversals that were loaded on Singapore. What I would love is, again, if the NASDAQ traders were to push through this 76.8, guys, and fail, that black diamond delta on the NASDAQ there, guys, at 321.50. If we were to get a bit of a push down, guys, again, some of you might have already seen that delta because we spoke about it in the pre-brief. If we do get a really lovely push down, guys, you can trade that delta long, guys, with a tight risk control. And what I mean by that is a tight automated risk control and a long range target to see if that is the turning point. For the fdax, I'd suggest we're waiting on a ratio-based static bar reversal to the high side. Right, so we'll just let all the mathematics occur in the background. If we get down to yesterday's low, let me just double check. Yeah, this is falling perfectly in alignment with what we thought they were going to do. And literally what we thought they were going to do is because this is a strong daily candle, They're probably going to sell down first before they try the retrace. So exactly what we're experiencing is what we expected. Just to reiterate, guys, when the sellers are this strong, these Delta V2s in particular, the Delta V2s are all valid unless you have a pivot in the way. Guys, that's that little Delta over there on NASDAQ has proven to be incredible. Do I have anybody long, guys, on that Delta on the NASDAQ going back the other way? Is anybody long on that one? Great observation from Mark, guys, about the reversal signals from earlier about to reload. Greg, very, very nice trade. Martin is long. Greg's had an absolute blinder on the S&P. Mate, massive well done to you. For the DAX traders, guys, I'm watching for the FESX to see whether it closes inside the pre-bottom and the open. Too bad I didn't. Mate, I was looking for it to go a little bit lower as well. Is the Black Diamond Delta on NASDAQ going back the other way? If you missed this entry here, obviously the first of those Black Diamond Deltas on this candle is valid. So as if you happen to have traded that Delta, it's gone at least 40 ticks to the high side. So you would have now controlled your risk and you're going to try and let your profits run. Okay, control your risk, let your profits run as far as you can. As we could be setting ourselves up for long range buy signals here. S&P 500, you guys literally came in the absolutely perfect location, guys, to pick up this little static bar reversal here. You might have actually waited for them to hit the fib and simply just bought the market going back the other way. That's obviously tumbling towards its targets as well. Okay, so big well done. Okay, now for the fdax, as for the fdax, as the black diamond deltas are valid. I'm looking for a little bit of a sell down first. That would be incredible. Guys, if we get a bit of a sell down first, don't you run without us, please. So don't just push the button on fdax, guys. Don't just push the button. Again, I'm looking for a bit of a sell down. Come on, Daxy. I know you want to sell down, please. So I've missed my entry, guys, on fdax there. I was trying to pick up the Black Diamond Delta. That's okay. I'll wait for the sell down to occur. So I'm going to wait for the sell down to occur. Okay, and what I'm looking for is I'm looking to pick up, guys, a short range or certainly a very, very tightly controlled reversal. On fdax, I've got to be very, very careful of the 150 fib of the OSR. I've got to be very, very careful of that. So the Black Diamond Deltas on fdax, guys, are valid. The risk could be slightly outside people's risk profiles. It is a valid static bar reversal long as well. As what I want to do is I want the sellers to push down a little bit, then the buyers to absolutely tank in. The reason being is I want to make sure that we don't get caught on that 150. Okay, now my ATM, guys, on the lower deltas just triggered. So I've been taken out at a I've been taken out at a +2 on the fdax Black Diamond, the lower Black Diamond reversal. Guys, I've been taken out just there at a +2. Let me just double check. The +2 copied across all 4 accounts simultaneously, guys. So again, I think we're at the reversal point in the market. I've been taken out by my ATM. I won't get back into the same trade unless the sellers were to push back down, fail at Fibonacci again, turn back around and come back the other way. For those that love Fibonacci, guys, that 133 extension, again, we know how good that is. Guess what? They've got fdax has turned off the perfect point. Anybody who's long, guys, your ATM might be touch 5 to -5. So if you've got a slightly looser ATM, you're going to get paid a lot more here on the fdax than I did. Guys, so if you're in at 555, I want you to try and trade the long back to the open and the pre-bottom, please. So you've got no risk on this trade now, guys. Your target is 5, 10, 15, 20. You've got a 25, 30 point target, please. 30 times 4, 1,200 Aussie dollar target, guys, on that one, please. Now, I have been ATMs, guys. I have been ATMs, but I traded my trading plan perfectly. I got paid on all 4 accounts. So I'm okay with that. Guys, I'm okay with that, and I'll just keep chipping away. All right, and we are highly likely to get another bit of a sell down here on the fdax, and then hopefully a tier 2 reversal that goes all the way back to the top of the jar would be amazing. All right, so anybody long on fdax? Guys, you've basically got 3 trades there. Okay, you've got the SBR or these 2 deltas there. Anybody long, guys, you must have gone through your targets. Well done, MJ. That's a great trade, mate. Well done. Okay, for Nazi, guys, at this point in time, I'm expecting long-range longs. Guys, long-range longs. Have I got anybody long, guys? Have I got anybody long on these black diamond deltas here on the NASDAQ or even this highest black diamond here? Guys, if you are long on the NASDAQ, we want to try and hold it a long way, please. Okay, Bex, beautiful trade. Andy, beautiful trade. Well done. Guys, what I'm going to do is, all right, I'm going to give you, a couple of goals. There's a couple of goals to run to. All right, they are our goals. So what we want is we want to see for the NASDAQers, and the S&P traders are probably long, guys, as instructed. We want to see these guys push through that 76 fib. I just want to see it push through that 76 fib. Why do we want to see that? Guys, because if we can get up here to this old daily buy point that we're talking about, then with the Nazi traders, we want to actually try and push you up to at least the 133, or guys, we're looking at then going up to up here. Okay, so this fib cluster, that triple colored fib cluster at the top. Yeah, I was going to say go bet go. Go bet go. So for everybody else, S&P 500 at this stage, I'm looking for a push through the 50 fib of the day. If we're going to pick up a reversal, I can't pick up a reversal now because they're stuck between the pivot and the 50 fib. fdax, guys, we're being very strict on you guys today. What we're looking for is, again, we need to sell down. Note the 150, guys, the 150 OSR fib. Guys, the Bank of Japan traders are all in Hawaii surfing for the week, guys, so I've got no one in the gym to train with. If you are long on the fdax, guys, your long-range target, guys, is 585. You've just gone through your long-range target. That is a beautiful fdax trade. Guys, Suzanne, and for the static bar traders, Suzanne, note the ratio here and the -8. Guys, that -8 is a complete license to print money for the fdax traders. So you guys are basically just sitting on your hands and you pick up that signal, then you put your order on and you wait 15 minutes. Speaking of that, for those that, have I got anybody on fdax that's long? Guys, anyone on fdax that's long? Because what we're going to do, love that, Suzanne, absolutely. What we're going to do, guys, we're going to try and push through the 50 of the day. If we push through the 50 of the day, guys, if we do that, it's highly likely to be a 4-point turning bar long. Guys, and then I'm going to send the fdax traders to the upper OSR long-range target. Guys, there is another long-range target, guys. There is another long-range target for the fdax traders, right? It's 775. We're currently at, where are we currently? We're all the way down here. So 200 points, guys, 200 points to the high side is a long-range target. But keeping it in context for everybody, guys, our daily goal on the fdax, guys, not to jump up and down. Guys, your daily goal for an intermediate trader is that little yellow box there. Guys, it's $250 US. If you've taken any of these deltas, guys, you may be over your daily KPI. Now, why do we keep cracking on about this daily KPI? It is the #1 mistake, guys, made globally by traders, is they don't have a KPI or they don't stick to their KPI because they think they're missing out on great trades. To highlight all of that, guys, if I can, if you can make $250 US a day, well done. If you double your contracts, it's $500 a day. If you go to 4 accounts, guys, you're looking at 500 times 4, $2,000 US a day, $10,000 US a week for about 90 minutes work per day. Just think about that, guys. There's not a lot of people earning that money. All right, so I think we've got to understand how privileged we are to have what we have. Now, for all those that are long on NASDAQ or S&P, you guys are getting to the point where we're definitely going to be controlling our risk, please. You've probably locked in a large amount of profit anyway. Martin is done. Wait, 60 ticks on NASDAQ, Martin. Very excited for you, mate. That's fantastic. Buyers on the stair step everywhere, guys. So we're looking for selling-based reversals. Now, some of you that are not long on the NASDAQ, some of you are not long in the NASDAQ, may have drawn a Fibonacci retracement down like that and said, Lockie, at the moment, they push through above the 90% Fibonacci here. I'm going to pick up that 88.6, or I'm going to sit under the 76.8, and the reason they go up here and test here, I'm going to so short under here. Live now, 290 small of our 1.1K large, 576 not bad. Need to get into the copy trader. We have literally been gifted one of the biggest opportunities in the world I've ever seen. Okay, not only are we futures traders, so there's no one on the other side of the market that's manipulating the market against us, hence the accuracy of the indicators. But this copy trading stuff is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And it's here and it's going to last, guys. It's going to last. Just got to make sure you stay. Let's make sure you stay with the big boys and girls. You don't want to go with a little funding partner because it might all turn to clag. So that's why we're working only with the biggest, only with the biggest. Now, my Fibonacci extension, guys, so basically they couldn't, so the NASDAQ is not ready to reverse yet, but anybody that's gone long on any of these deltas, or is anyone that's gone long on any of those deltas there, okay, if you've gone long off Fibonacci as we had drawn before, if you've gone long, they've obviously gone quite well. As if you pick them up the failure here at the 88.6 and you've shorted it down, do I have anybody short, guys, on the NASDAQ or S&P? S&P not really that clean. NASDAQ very clean. Andy, you're done. First time using Apex Copy. I only did FDXM. Well, yeah, mate, it's probably worked well. It's probably worked well, which is great. Okay. So now, YouTubers, I'm going to have to love you and leave you again around about 30 to 35 minutes. For those that are watching YouTube, this is what we do every day. We do it for the European Open and also the US Close. The goal is to get every trader up to around about between $250 and $1,000 US per day. That's our goal. We do it every day, guys, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So, guys, for everyone in the LTR, what I need to do, guys, I need to stop your projection quickly. We've got no new trades coming up, so let me just do that quickly. All right, I'll bid the YouTubers farewell, guys. If you want to jump in the live trading room, please get in contact.